It's time. Yes, good. I'm obsessed with how these smell. You ain't staining my hands this year. Aha! Scrub-a-dub-dub, nut in a tub. Wait, no, forget I said that. Let's crack her open. Just kidding. Black walnuts have to cure for a couple of weeks or months first, and I thought I could skip it and I couldn't, but now that it's November, let's try cracking it open. Here are our pre-cracked nuts. It's like 4 p.m. and it's golden hour already. Wake me up when the winter ends. Okay, enough chit-chatting. This device is called Grandpa's Goodie Getter, and we're gonna use it to crack open the black walnut. Hope that this doesn't hurt me. Let's open her up. Okay, from all of this carnage, we get this much nut meat. Let's try some. Sweet, nutty, a little floral. I mean, they taste a lot like they smell. So if you didn't get to make no chino this year, that's okay. Go and see if there are any fallen black walnuts left. I gotta go shell the rest of these. Happy snacking. Mwah! Don't die.
Yeah, so don't be like me. Okay, I didn't actually eat a poisonous mushroom, but I did make one out of a muffin. But before you go doing this yourself, this was an absolute nightmare, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why to save you the trouble. First mistake, I used a muffin. The shape is great, but the consistency was not nearly dense enough. Second mistake, I used candy melts instead of fondant. As you can see, it was an absolute nightmare. The reason I did it this way is because I made a similar video 2 years ago, and I baked a cake and I used fondant, and it was just so much work, and it was my first time doing it, so I thought maybe this would be easier, but it wasn't. But before I bitch too much about this, it actually turned out pretty well for the end result. I mean, like, the process was this awful, but I fooled you guys, and some of y'all were just pooping your hearts out, apparently. And I fooled you guys 2 years ago also, so I must say I'm pretty proud of myself, even though this was absolutely not the right way to go about this. But yep, here it is.
Let's go foraging for parasol mushrooms. These are one of my all-time favorites, so I was so excited about these. They can grow in a mixture of environments, from woodlands to fields, in rings, or on their own. They have this beautiful colouring on the top and quite a few key identifying features, such as this snakeskin pattern on the stipe. That will determine it between that and its more toxic counterparts. They also have very close together gills, as you can see here, and one of the other most identifying features is this little nubbin on the top of the cap. One more key identifiable feature is that the ring around the stipe can be moved freely up and down the stem. If you've successfully identified a parasol, lucky you and enjoy. Let's go foraging for birch sap. Birch trees have this lovely silvery bark to help you identify them. Once you've found a suitable birch tree, you're going to want to use some secateurs or a knife to cut about halfway down one of the branches. Check that the birch sap is flowing, and then you can attach your container. The sap should steadily drip for quite a long while. This was only after 5 minutes, but I left this overnight, and as I came back the next day it was half full. Once you're happy with the amount, you can take your container off the branch and give it a taste test. Happy foraging!
Hi, I'm Chaotic Forager, and welcome to Puffball Mushroom TikTok. Ooh yeah, I love that sound. Have I eaten a ton of puffball mushrooms recently? Yes. Do I need another one that's pizza crust sized? Also yes. They can get much larger than this, but if you wait too long, they can get kind of gross inside. Oh yeah. I love puffballs so much, guys. And of course, I didn't bring a knife, so I'm gonna crack this baby open with my bare hands. Oh yeah, it's perfect! I'm just gonna pop it in my basket here, take it home, and make me some pizza. It's a perfect fit. What did I tell you about smashing puffballs last year? I am calling someone's mom.
No way. There is no way. Holy crap, look at all of this chicken of the woods. Litiferous sulphurous, as evidenced by the yellow pores. A great way to make sure these are tasty chickens and not dangerous jack-o'-lanterns is this. Chickens grow in these cute little shelved layers, not in singular mushrooms like jack-o'-lantern. And chickens have pores as opposed to jack-o'-lantern's gills. I'm leaving a bunch behind to set spores or for another forager to find, but this is gonna be a big old chickeny meal. Let's make some nuggies. Controversial take time. I'm gonna toss these into a little bit of vinegar, water, and salt to debugify them. Be clean! There were like 10 beetles hiding in there. I'm a changed person now. For those of you wondering why chicken of the woods is called chicken of the woods, look at that meaty, chickeny texture. Whoa. Our fronds, and now it is time for the dredgening. Now, I don't know who told that sweet boy from the Bloomin' Onion video to dry dredge first, but whoever told him is an agent of chaos. This is a wet dredge first household, and yours should be too. Meet your wets. I use soy buttermilk because I'm a filthy vegan, but butter whatever milk you got in your fridge, honey. And meet your dries. Dippy dippy, dippy flippy, and we're going for a double dredge for optimal crisp. A spritzy of oil, and then it's into the air fryer. Boop. At 8 minutes, pause and give them a flip. It's time. Y'all, look at the meatiness. Y'all, and they slap. They slap. If you need me, I'll be here eating these. Happy snacking, don't die.
You won't believe what I just found. It's so big. Look at this. Holy crap. This is an Amanita mushroom. It's similar to the Amanita muscaria. This is like the orange variant. This is not the red one that you're used to. But look at how massive this thing is. This is my palm. Look at that. My God. This is so cool. I really want to collect this. Oh snap, there's another one over here. Look at this. Wow, this is so cool. This one's pretty big too. All right, so I'm back at the location 2 days later to pick up the mushroom. Holy crap, look how big it's gotten.
That's the mushroom?
Yes, this is 2 days. This is 2 days later.
Hi, that's a real mushroom?
Yes.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Is it really in the ground?
Yeah.
Dude, it looks like someone just placed it there. Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, look at this.
Dude, that's awesome. No fucking way, dude.
Purple dead nettle is styptic, meaning that it stops bleeding when applied to a wound. To use it to stop bleeding, simply pinch off the stem, rub the leaves between your fingers or your palms to release the juices, then apply the leaves directly to the cut and hold until the bleeding stops. Purple dead nettle is also anti-inflammatory and antibacterial, which add to its benefits for a cut. It is an amazing plant with medicinal properties and nutritional benefits that people have labeled as a weed.
Have you ever been tempted to eat plants off the ground? Then follow your heart and do it. But do it safely because I don't want you to die. These beautiful tall boys are daylilies and we are going to eat them. Flour, sea truffle salt, bubbly water, dippy dippy in your pop. Happy snacking. So why forage? It makes gourmet food the low price of free 99. Just kidding, it's just free. Keep your 99 cents.
The blueberry rake changed my life. Before I had a blueberry rake, I ate more service berries than blueberries. Once I got a rake and learned how to follow fires to the blueberries, I started eating more blueberries than any other fruit. There are some people that think that using a blueberry rake is immoral or damaging. This is absurd, absurd, absurd. Oh, come on, people. Blueberries are fire dependent and they only thrive where they are burnt to a crisp. The fact that a rake pulls off a few leaves is immaterial. In the absence of fire, blueberries will disappear from a landscape. The first year after the fire, there will not be any blueberries. The best blueberry picking is 2 years after a fire. And that's what we have here. This is a 9-inch rake from the Hubbard Rake Company. These are fantastic. A lot of smaller rakes, the tines are not flexible enough and they crush the berries more. They make much larger rakes, which are operated with 2 hands, but those are really applicable just in managed blueberry barrens. In a wild blueberry barrens like this, you want a one-handed rake so you can move and manipulate the plants as you harvest. You want to use the outer 2.5 inches or so of your tines for almost all the work. Towards the tips, they are most flexible. You don't want to ask the tines to do too much work. The smaller blueberries will fall through. In 2 weeks, all the blueberries will be on the ground. If a few blueberries fall on the ground, I don't really care because that's what's going to happen to all of them. I don't like raking early in the season because you get too many green berries. Okay, so I got about 2 gallons of blueberries. You always get some stuff mixed in with your blueberries when you use a rake. I always like to winnow the leaves and trash out while I'm picking because the blueberries will sweat and the stuff will stick to it if you wait longer. I end up winnowing about 6 times usually. There'll be a little bit of sorting and picking out stems before we bag these up to freeze them, but that's pretty good blueberries. I want to talk about some of the other plants that we'll see while picking blueberries. One of them is sweet fern. Sweet fern can be used for a tea, but it's not something you really want to eat. You'll get a lot of these sweet fern burrs. They're easy to pull out of your blueberries because of the texture. Sand cherry is an excellent edible in its own right. I like them, but I don't like them mixed with my blueberries. You don't want to hit a cherry pit in a blueberry pot. Once you get them in there, they look a lot like blueberries. When you have a bucket full, it is hard to spot the sand cherries and pick them out. Oh, you're gonna love this. Bastard toadflax. Who the hell ever thought of that name? We often find bastard toadflax mixed with blueberries. It's a semi-parasitic plant that sucks nutrients out of the roots of grasses, blueberries, sweet fern. Bastard toadflax has a little tiny nut. It's actually delicious. It's like a hazelnut with a shell so thin that you can just crunch it between your teeth. I'm gonna take a break from blueberry picking now and we're gonna go swimming because we've got 14 gallons.